dear learners, again we are here to learn something about the subject antenna and wave propagation. I am Dr. Pawan Kumar Shukla, Professor and Head of the Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, Greater Noida. Today our discussion is based on some specific kind of antennas, and we are going to start a practical antenna in the terms of a dipole antenna, a very basic antenna. So, before starting this particular topic and the content of dipole antenna, how it radiates, how the transmission through dipole antenna is transmitted in the free space, and how the basic kind of antenna works for the electromagnetic radiation, we have to discuss the properties and the characteristic of an antenna for that particular thing, that what is radiation, how the radiation is generated by an antenna, and how a transmitting and receiving antenna works together to get the radiation from and to both sides for a better communication. So, I am going to start the basic characteristics of an antenna. Generally, an antenna is defined as an essential part of any wireless communication system. As we all know that antenna is a device which radiates the electromagnetic radiation and in free space, and the energy is also received by the antenna, which is known as the receiving antenna. So, any communication link between a transmitting end and the receiving end, together it contains both type of antennas like transmitting antenna and receiving antenna. So, we are here to discuss about the practical antenna in terms of a dipole antenna, how it works. So, as the introduction is given in my this slide, that a wireless communication system where a transmitting antenna is transmitting the electromagnetic radiations in the free space, and a receiving antenna captures its all the energy from a particular direction through the receiving antenna, and the receiving antenna it conveys the information through transmission lines to the receiver, and we as human being receive the information in the form of received signal. Now, the transmitted signal which is sent into the free space, it is sent through a transmitting antenna, and the energy is captured, or that particular transmitted signal is received by the receiving antenna. Generally, we are talking about the radio frequency signals, and the complete electromagnetic spectrum is not utilized by all kind of antennas. Here the kind of antenna as dipole antenna is discussed only for the RF radiation. So, the RF energy is transmitted into space in the form of an electromagnetic wave. As the travelling electromagnetic wave arrives at the receiving antenna, a voltage is induced into the antenna, usually in the form of a conductor. This particular induced voltage is responsible for reciprocating the electromagnetic signals into the transmission lines in the form of electrical energy, and that electrical energy is reaching to the receiver for giving the original message. So, some kind of transmitting and some kind of receiving phenomena are occurred at both the ends, one at the transmitting end and the second at the receiving end. This RF voltage induced into the receiving antenna are then passed into the receiver and converted back into the original RF information. This is a process of communication for any wireless link. The antennas can be thought as a transducers. Transducers means those particular devices which converts one form of energy into another form of energy. In the same way, we can see that antenna is responsible device which converts the electrical energy into the electromagnetic energy, and at the receiving end it converts the electromagnetic energy into the electrical energy. So, more specifically, these are the devices designed to radiate or receive the electromagnetic energy efficiently in the prescribed manner. So, we can understand that a specific kind of device which is utilized in the wireless communication system, which is known as antenna, which is only responsible for the transmission and reception of the electromagnetic signals. If we talk about specifically short dipole, actually this short dipole is a form of conducting element. It means this particular dipole is capable of producing electric field as well as magnetic field, and with the combination of these two fields, electromagnetic field is generated around the short dipole antenna. It is a very basic kind of antenna which is used for the RF signal transmission and reception. A short dipole is known as short because its length is very small. Although this length of a short dipole is finite, but in terms of wavelength it can be defined as a very short dipole because its length is very small. If we consider the length in terms of the wavelength, wavelength means the corresponding wavelength of the frequency of operation of the signal. It is assumed that the transmission line does not radiate and therefore its presence will be disregarded for the radiation concern. Actually, this kind of antenna means short dipole is directly connected to the transmission line. Why these transmission lines are needed? Transmission lines are needed to give the excitation to the antenna. Every antenna is having its own feed system. Without excitation or without feeding system, no any antenna can work. So, the connection of electrical energy through which we are sending the information to the antenna is called as the feed point or excitation point. So, the short dipole is excited with the transmission line. Here you can see that this particular diagram shows the short dipole and its equivalent. If you see that the transmission line is connected from this particular point and the whole length of this antenna is L, which is very short in comparison to the wavelength of the signal. And these are the end plate provides loading little effect on pattern. The radiation pattern of a short dipole antenna is very much similar to a kind of spherical, like this is a sphere. It depends that how this short dipole is placed on its orientation. Either it will be in a horizontal direction or it is in the vertical direction. On the basis of its orientation and placing on the origin point, its radiation pattern changes. So, this is the description of a short dipole antenna. One more nomenclature is defined for this dipole antenna. It is known as infinitesimal dipole. Infinitesimal dipole is the dipole which is having a very small length in comparable to its wavelength, and it is defined as the length of this infinitesimal dipole is L is less than lambda by 50, and the overall configuration, overall orientation, polarization, its placement and its the different components of electric field and magnetic field are shown in this diagram. This diagram is very important as far as the electric field and magnetic field components are concerned, which are generated by a dipole antenna when it is placed at the origin of this 3-dimensional pattern. We can see here that electric field and magnetic field both are having its own component in all the 3 dimensions. If we see that this particular diagram is dedicated to spherical coordinate system, and in this spherical coordinate system electric field is having r, theta and phi component, and magnetic field is also having r, theta and phi component. On the discussion and the derivations of different components on the different theories, we can define the components in our next slide. But here we can see that the current carrying conductor and this instantaneous current I t can be defined as I naught e to the power j omega t I z. Here the short dipole is placed vertically at the origin of an spherical coordinate system. So, the instantaneous current which is flowing in the short dipole is vertically upward direction. It means this is along this z direction, that is why the current component is in z direction only, and this z direction current element component is defined here as I t is equal to I naught e to the power j omega t I z. What are the different components of electric field and magnetic field through a short dipole antenna? For describing this particular topic, we have many theories. Some are related to the practical aspect, some are related to the theoretical aspect, but here the most important theory which we consider for our calculation of the different components of electric field and magnetic field from a short dipole antenna, we take the theory of vector potential and scalar potential. This potential theory is important as the generation of electric field and generation of magnetic field both are dependent on the potential factors, and these potential factors, if we consider the magnetic potential factor, this magnetic potential factor is responsible for generating the magnetic field in the surroundings in the atmosphere in free space through a short dipole antenna, and the scalar potential is responsible for the generation of electric field through a short dipole antenna. The different components are given here. Definitely a long derivation has been done, and after that the result has been given in this particular slide. Definitely we will discuss some of the derivations in detail in my next lectures, but here it is important to understand the theory and the results about the vector potential component through which we can calculate the magnetic field through a short dipole antenna. So, here as we know, if the current element is existing only in z direction, then the vector potential component will be existing only in z direction. It means Ax is equal to 0 and Ay is equal to 0, only Az component exists, and this is in the form of Az mu I naught L upon 4 pi r e to the power minus j k r. This is the vector potential component in z direction. So, we have to convert this vector potential component of z direction into the spherical coordinate component, means A r, A theta and A phi. So, by calculating the spherical system, and as we have shown in my previous slide this particular diagram, we can understand how the spherical coordinate components can be converted into the Cartesian coordinate components. And that is why this AR and A theta are given as AR is equal to AZ cos theta and A theta is equal to minus AZ sin theta. So, this AR is equal to mu I naught L upon 4 pi r cos theta into e to the power minus j k r, and as A theta is concerned minus mu I naught L upon 4 pi r sin theta into e to the power minus j k r. And by the different calculations and derivations, we get that A phi component is always 0. By using these three components in the spherical coordinate system as AR, A theta and A phi by the matrix calculation of del operator, as we know that Maxwell's equations are the basic root cause for calculation of magnetic field and electric field or overall electromagnetic field from a conducting element or from a short dipole antenna. So, by using these equations and these calculations, we can get the magnetic field components with the help of these AR, A theta and A phi, because AR, A theta, A phi are the magnetic vector potential components from a short dipole antenna in free space. So, by using this particular equation of Maxwell's equation, as we know that B is equal to mu H is equal to del cross A, and that is why H is equal to 1 upon mu del cross A. And by using the formula of del cross A, when we find the component of A theta and AR only, then we get the magnetic field component also in all the three directions, mean HR, H theta and H phi. And finally, by the different calculations and derivations, we get the magnetic field component only in the direction of H phi, means HR component and H theta component comes as 0. So, in the same way the electric field component is calculated by using the scalar potential function, and that scalar potential function can be calculated by this, or this is electric field component can also be calculated by the theory of intrinsic impedance, and this intrinsic impedance can be calculated as E by H is equal to eta, and E by H is equal to eta means eta is the intrinsic impedance of free space, and when we put the value of E component and H component. So, similarly as the calculation of magnetic field have been done, in the same way electric field components can also be calculated, and when we get the electric field components and magnetic field component, we can calculate the power component, total power radiated, and this power radiation is given in electromagnetic field theory in the form of Poynting vector. So, here this is the formula for the Poynting vector is given as P is equal to E cross H, as you know, but here we know that the calculations are done in the form of electric field component and magnetic field component. So, here E and H are defined with the specific components only. So, the calculation of power is done on the basis of those integrals only. Finally, we get the components like this, means in the spherical coordinate system for the electromagnetic radiation from a short dipole antenna for a current element, you can say a short current element that is defined in the form of these 6 components, means electric field is having 3 components like ER, E theta, E phi, and magnetic field is having 3 components as HR, H theta and H phi. By the different calculations, we get that ER is equal to eta I naught L upon 2 pi r square cos theta 1 plus 1 upon j k r into e to the power minus j k r. This is the value of radial component of electric field, and in the same way E theta is given as j eta k I naught L upon 4 pi r sin theta 1 plus 1 upon j k r minus 1 upon k r whole square into e to the power minus j k r. These are the different components which are given here in the form of these equations. Basically, they come as the distance, this r factor. This r factor is the most important parameter to decide that which component will act like which, means the existence and the prominence of that component will be in the near field or in the far field. So, I will discuss these both terms as far field radiation and near field radiation. In the modern theory, it is very important and deciding factor that how an antenna works and how an antenna is efficient for the far field or for the near field. There are three components which comes as 0, E phi, H r and H theta. These three components are equal to 0, and finally, this H phi is equal to j k I naught L upon 4 pi r 1 plus 1 upon j k r sin theta into e to the power minus j k r. These are the 6 components, among which 3 components are 0 and rest of the 3 components exist in this equation forms. This was all about the description for the short dipole antenna, and if we consider the infinitesimal dipole, the characteristics and the components are given in this particular slide. Okay. So, on the basis of these terms which I have mentioned in my last slides, basically the R parameter is very important as far as radiation is concerned, because radiation is always treated for the long distances only. But when the variation of this R term is depending upon the components, means if we talk about H phi component varies only as the parameter 1 upon r varies. But in the case of E r and E theta, it varies according to 1 upon r square and 1 upon r cube as well. So, 1 upon r, 1 upon r square, 1 upon r cube, all these 3 terms produce their own kind of variation as far as distance is concerned. So, on the basis of this particular variation of r, accordingly 1 upon r square and 1 upon r cube, these are termed as 3 categories. First is known as near field region, second is known as far field region, and third one is also considered, which is not mentioned here, because as far as antenna theory is concerned, that particular component is having no uses. So, all those terms which vary according to the 1 upon r cube factor, they are having no any kind of existence in the antenna theory. Only these 2 terms, the term which vary according to the 1 upon r square, they are known as near field region, and those term which varies according to the 1 upon r are known as far field region. So, only the components which vary according to 1 upon r are very much considerable for the antenna theory, because these terms are important for the radiation purposes. So, which distance is considered for the near field and which distance is considered for far field? You can see here that when r is less than lambda by 6, it is known as near field region, and when r is greater than twice d square upon lambda, it is considered as far field region. These are the final results, you can say far field region, the directivity, the E plane radiation pattern, H plane radiation pattern and the 3D radiation pattern and the directivity. Directivity is also a very important parameter, because any particular practical antenna, any antenna is defined for its directivity, and directivity varies from 1 to infinity, and in this particular case of short dipole antenna, a current element antenna, this comes as 3/2. 3/2 means approximately 1.5, and this particular directivity is very less. So, we have to enhance the directivity of antenna, and many more things will come in our next lectures, that how we can enhance the directivity of an antenna. This is the small dipole antenna, the practical antenna, and the approximate triangular current distribution is given in the form of this, and in the same way when this antenna is placed at the origin of this coordinate system, and the whole description when this particular point is defined as r theta phi, and at this particular point P, when the electromagnetic radiation is calculated, it comes in the form of this. So, in this complete picture of the different notations and specifications and the results, one important thing, most important thing, radiation resistance is important, and this radiation resistance we will discuss in the next slide, next lecture, because time is less. So, we are placing our the whole discussion based on the dipole antenna and its all the characteristics. So, thank you very much for hearing me.